Obviously, Niners just dog walk the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow.
I mean, they looked like they were playing two different sports out there. In Pittsburgh, in Acrisure.
Whoa.
Kenny Pickett had an incredible offseason.
Yeah.
We're talking about this OTAs and training camp and practices, preseason. He's hitting all the spots. Those gloves,
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing, but I know they're spinning it.
That's right. That's right.
And then yesterday, not good.
Nothing.
Missing open passes.
Yeah.
Najee Harris looks like he's running in mud. I mean, there is a situation happening in Pittsburgh where it's like, was everything that we saw in the preseason and in training camp and the hype, was that all a lie?
What?
Matt Canada, this offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I know he's taking on the Niners. He was supposed to be better this year because last year had his hands tied because it was a rookie quarterback, didn't want to do too much.
Right.
They look like the same old Steelers. The Niners look like a team that is going to maybe be better than any team has ever been in football. Brock Purdy made it look easy. Tone Diggs, big-time Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Are you panicking right now? What a nightmare. You guys stink!
Yeah, I am panicking. Normally I wouldn't because I'd say that the Niners are a really good team, which they are. They are stacked at every single position. And yeah, there was some people who had confidence, I guess, in Matt Canada coming out of the preseason. I was not one of them.
That's not. That's a lie.
When did I ever say anything good about Matt Canada?
You said this guy seems to have figured out how to call
No.
plays.
Yeah.
Even though he's been bad since he's been calling plays in high school, this guy shouldn't be in the NFL. He seems like he's figured it out. Look at the preseason games. That's what you said.
You're right. They got dog walk. They got here little puppies. Come walk us outside. The whole game. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the pass.
What?
I mean, and the worrisome part for me, when
Couldn't
they're
stop returns. I mean, there's
Yeah,
a bit there too.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Water breaks, they couldn't stop those.
watch your mouth.
I mean,
When there was open receivers, Kenny missed them too, which was the most deflating part to me. And then Deontay Johnson gets hurt, which, I mean, a lot of people talking about how Pickens is number one. Deontay's right there with him, and Cam Hayward got hurt. It was a bad day.
and on the flip side, the Niners look incredible. Now, I know what we saw with the Dallas Cowboys defense on Sunday Night Football, people are going to be attracted to, but just know that what the Niners did on defense with Bosa being back last year is going to carry into this year even better, it feels like. Kenny Pickett missed some wide open things, but that's probably because Kenny Pickett was thinking his whole time, is this the greatest defense ever assembled in the history of the NFL? There's all pros all over the place. The amount of money they've spent on that team, that's exactly how they are hoping they will look. $934,000 being spent on a quarterback. Everywhere else, at every important position for the Niners, they are paying top 3 in the NFL, and it showed last night. We're talking dominant from start to finish against a Pittsburgh Steelers team that normally keeps things close, D-Bud.
Yeah, Brock Purdy picked up right where he left off. And the question was coming into this year, okay, can he continue that now that defenses may have a book on him? And he did. He did everything he wanted. Christian McCaffrey, he ran the ball great. Brandon Ayuk, he's looking like wide receiver one. He's looking like a beast out there. You know, they took some of those comments in the media this week personally. And then on the defensive side of the ball, obviously lost their coordinator from last year with DeMeco Ryans taking that head coaching job in Houston, but didn't miss a beat with Steve Wilkes. Like you said, all pros on every level. They are just a dominant unit on the side of the ball.
Okay, the one in the middle there,
yeah.
okay, his name's Fred. He's everywhere.
So good.
He's so fast.
Unbelievable.
And he's coming with, like, bad intentions.
Restless abandon.
Yeah, he is coming with bad intentions every time he makes a tackle. And then he'll also shit talk.
Oh, yeah.
So I love everything about the Niners. Is this the year they finally go? It's the injury bug that shows up that has affected the San Francisco Niners. And last year, the injury bug showed up, but then we had the answer. Oh, who is it? Mr. Irrelevant. This guy's able to make up for everybody somehow. The thing that Jimmy G has, the it factor, which has carried into the Las Vegas Raiders, and teammates love him, and he somehow wins. That's what Jimmy Garoppolo does. Oh, we found another one. What is he? $20 million cheaper. What's his name? Brock freaking Purdy. So him just being able to do that and elevate them, incredible. But even last year, as they were on the magical run, when the moment got the biggest, literally as soon as the football gods could hurt them, they did.
Yeah.
That first quarter, they just bam, 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 bam. Oh, Bosa's getting hurt? How? Well, a corner on a punt play is going to get ragdolled so much that the cleat is actually just going to slice the outside, so he won't be able to have as much get off. Oh, so you're just like kind of holding him back? Exactly. Quarterback can't move his elbow anymore.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah, just first
Can't
play.
physically throw.
Fred, you know the guy that flies around? We're going to dislocate his shoulder real quick. That all happened in the first 5-6 plays. If the football gods don't try to ruin their life, it feels like this Niners team, we're on a collision course with who?
Probably the Philadelphia Eagles.
Whoa! What about the Dallas Cowboys?
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Stephen A. The Niners, played very, very well against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brock Purdy kind of picks up where he left off.
Dominant.
Exactly. What do you think is the deal with the Steelers? We know they had a great preseason. We're talking about all this hype, and then this happens week 1. Do you think they're going to be all right? And what about the Niners? They're going to make a run once again?
Well, first of all, with the Niners, that's a foregone conclusion. I expect to see them in the NFC Championship game. It's just that simple.
Hilarious.
Whether it's going to be against the Cowboys or the Eagles remains to be seen, but I think it'll be the 49ers against one of those teams. That's number one. Number two, I will tell you this. When it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm very depressed because I've been a lifelong diehard Steelers fan. And this is the first time that I've ever contemplated them finishing in last place within their own division.
Oh,
That's
no.
I've ever foreshadowed. That's how I feel about it right now.
No.
Well, let's count the ways. Joe Burrow stunk up the joint yesterday. Do we really think that's going to last? We know better. We know what a superstar he is. He'll be fine. We look at Lamar Jackson now having Odell Beckham Jr. and Zay Flowers and those boys. They lost they lost J.K. Dobbins. We understand that's not a good thing, but still being exceptionally well coached by Harbaugh, being led by Lamar Jackson, having some rough riders on the defensive side of the ball. Do we really expect them to fall off? No. So it comes down to the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. And even though Sean Watson still has some making up to do, he doesn't look like himself as of yet. When we look at Garrett and the impact that he has, when we look at Nick Chubb and the way he can run the football, when we look at them having a number one receiver in Amari Cooper, Peoples-Jones, this brother can play as well, and Joker can play at the tight end spot. You just look at the arsenal that the Cleveland Browns have had. They have flown under the radar. We've talked about Burrow's new deal. We've talked about Lamar Jackson's deal before that. We've talked about people that they've drafted. We've talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers and what we're hoping. But we've looked at the Cleveland Browns and we paid little to no attention to them.
Yep.
And then they go against Cincinnati and hold them to 3 points and beat them 24-3. We got to pay attention to stuff like that and ask ourselves, where do the Steelers fit in that equation when you got a second-year quarterback with small hands and even smaller resume compared to the guys that I mentioned? I mean, what the hell are you going to be able to do? They had 3 sacks. TJ Watt had all of them. Nobody else recorded a sack. And, San Francisco punked them. Let's just call it what it is. They punked them yesterday. And so I don't expect that to last. I don't expect everybody to be able to do that. But I am worried about the Steelers, significantly so.
Yeah, if you look around the AFC North, we always say it's a quarterback-driven league. 3 highest-paid quarterbacks pretty much are in the AFC North, except for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So you would start putting some math together. Maybe the Steelers are going to be in trouble.